أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والنازعات غرقا والناشطات نشطا والسابحات سبحا فالسابقات سبقا فالمدبرات أمرا يوم ترجف الراجفة تتبعها الرادفة قلوب يومئذ واجفة أبصارها خاشعة يقولون أئنا لمردودون في الحافرة أإذا كنا عظاما نخرة قالوا تلك إذا كرة خاسرة فإنما هي زجرة واحدة فإذا هم بالساهرة. These oaths are sworn by the noble angels, and their deeds, which are indicative of their perfect submission to the command of Allah and their hastening to carry out His commands. It may be that what is attested to is the requital and resurrection, based on the fact that they are followed by a description of the resurrection. It may be that what is attested to and what is sworn by is one and the same, and that Allah swears by the angels because belief in them is one of the 6 pillars of faith. Moreover, mention of their deeds here refers to the requital of which the angels are in charge at the same time, at the time of death and before and after that moment. Hence Allah says, by those who rest violently. This refers to the angels who pulled out souls forcefully and keep on pulling until the soul has been completely brought forth from the body. Then it will be requited for its deeds. And by those who draw out gently. This also refers to angels who pull souls out gently. This indicates that gentle pulling is for the souls of the believers, and violent resting is for the souls of the disbelievers. And by those who glide swiftly, that is, who move through the air, ascending and descending, those who press forward, as in a race, hastening to fulfill the command of Allah and to outrun the devils when conveying revelation to the messengers of Allah, so that the latter will not eavesdrop on it, and who carry out the command of Allah. This refers to the angels whom Allah appoints to control many of the matters of the universe, in both the upper and lower realms, such as rain, vegetation, trees, winds, seas, fetuses, animals, paradise, hell, and so on. On the day when the earth is shaken violently by the first trumpet blast, which will signal the onset of the hour, followed by the second trumpet blast. On that day hearts will be pounding, that is, they will be deeply troubled by the intensity of what they see and hear, and eyes will be downcast, that is, humbled and brought low, for fear will have seized their hearts, and they will be stunned by panic and overwhelmed with regret and sorrow. They, namely the disbelievers in this world, say, by way of denial, will we be restored to our former state even after we have turned into crumbling bones, that is, bones that are worn out and disintegrated? They say, then, if that is true, we would indeed be losers. That is, they think it unlikely that Allah will resurrect them and recreate them after they have turned into crumbling bones, out of ignorance of Allah's might and showing audacity and disrespect towards Him. Allah says, explaining how easy this is for Him, it will be but a single blast of the trumpet, whereupon all creatures will be back above the ground, that is, on the surface of the earth, standing and looking around. Allah will gather them and judge between them on the basis of His just rule and will requite them. هل أتاك حديث موسى إذ نادى ربه بالوادي المقدس طوى اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى فقل هل لك إلى أن تزكى وأهديك إلى ربك فتخشى فأراه الآية الكبرى فكذب وعصى ثم أدبر يسعى فحشر فنادى فقال أنا ربكم الأعلى فأخذه الله نكال الآخرة والأولى إن في ذلك لعبرة لمن يخشى. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to his Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, has there come to you the story of Musa? This is a question about a matter of great significance that definitely happened. That is, has news come to you of him when his Lord called to him in the sacred valley of Tuwa? Tuwa is the place where Allah spoke to him, bestowed the message upon him, and chose him for his revelation and to bring him close to him. He said to him, go to Pharaoh, for he has indeed transgressed all bounds. That is, tell him to stop his transgression, polytheism, and disobedience, speaking to him gently, so that perhaps he may heed or fear Allah, and say to him, are you willing to be purified? That is, are you willing to attain some praiseworthy and good characteristics which people of understanding compete to attain, which means purifying yourself from the filth of disbelief and transgression, and attaining faith and doing righteous deeds? And for me to guide you to your Lord, that is, show you the way to him, and explain to you how you may attain his pleasure and avoid his wrath, so that you may come to fear him when you come to know the straight path. But Pharaoh rejected that to which Musa called him. Then Musa showed him the great sign. This does not refer to one sign in particular, because there were many signs. So Musa threw down his staff, and suddenly it was a serpent, plain for all to see. And he drew forth his hand, and it appeared shining white to all beholders. But Pharaoh denied it, that is the truth, and disobeyed the command. Then he turned away and began scheming, that is, striving to oppose and fight the truth. He gathered his people and made a proclamation, saying to them, I am your Lord Most High. So they submitted to him, and affirmed his falsehood when he made fools of them. So Allah seized him for an exemplary punishment in the hereafter and in this life. That is, his punishment became a sign and a deterrent, a reminder of punishment in this world and the hereafter. Verily, in this there is a lesson for those who fear Allah, for the one who fears Allah is the one who will benefit from signs and lessons. When he sees the punishment of Pharaoh, he will realize what whoever is arrogant and disobeys and opposes the Sovereign Most High, he will punish him in this world and the hereafter. As for the one whose heart is devoid of fear of Allah, no matter what sign comes to him, he will not believe in it. أأنتم أشد خلقا أم السماء بناها رفع سمكها فسواها وأغطش ليلها وأخرج ضحاها والأرض بعد ذلك دحاها أخرج منها ماءها ومرعاها والجبال أرساها متاعا لكم ولأنعامكم. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, giving a clear sign to those who disbelieve in the resurrection and think it unlikely that Allah will recreate their bodies. Are you, O humans, more difficult to create, or the heaven, with its immense size, strong structure, and great height? Allah built it, raised its height, that is, its shape and size, and perfected it with dazzling and astounding precision. He darkened its night, so that its darkness envelops all parts of the heaven, and the face of the earth is overshadowed with darkness, and brought forth its daylight. That is, he made a great light to prevail in it when he brings the sun during the day, so that people may go about their business, both religiously and worldly. And after that he spread out the earth, that is, after creating the heaven, he spread it out and deposited in it which is beneficial for man. This is explained in the following two verses. Brought forth from it its water and its vegetation, and set the mountains firmly. That is, he fixed them in the earth. The spreading out of the earth came after the creation of the heavens, as is stated in the passage. The one who created the mighty heavens and all that they contain of lights and heavenly bodies, and the solid earth and all that it contains of necessities, and that which benefits people, will inevitably resurrect those who are accountable, and he will requite them for their deeds. Whoever did good will have the best reward, and whoever did evil, let him blame no one but himself. Hence, after mentioning the resurrection, Allah mentions the requital and says, فإذا جاءت الطامة الكبرى يوم يتذكر الإنسان ما سعى وبرزت الجحيم لمن يرى فأما من طغى وآثر الحياة الدنيا فإن الجحيم هي المأوى وأما من خاف مقام ربه ونهى النفس عن الهوى فإن الجنة هي المأوى. That is, when the resurrection comes with great hardship that will make all other hardships pale into insignificance. At that time a father will show no care for his son, nor a husband for his wife, nor any love for his beloved. On that day man will remember all that he did in this world, both good and bad, and he will wish for an atom's weight more of good deeds, and he will feel regret and sorrow for the addition of even an atom's weight to his bad deeds. At that time he will realize what will make him win or lose was his efforts in this world, and all connections and relations he had in this world will be severed. Nothing will be able to benefit him except righteous deeds, and the blazing fire will be exposed for all to see. That is, it will be brought into view and made visible to everyone. It will be made visible for its people, for it has been prepared to ensnare them, and is waiting for the command of its Lord. Then as for one who transgressed all bounds, that is, he overstepped the mark by daring to commit major sins, and he did not adhere to the limits set by Allah, and preferred the life of this world to the hereafter, so his efforts were for the sake of this world, and his time was spent in trying to accumulate worldly gains and pursue worldly desires. He forgot the hereafter and failed to strive for it. Verily the blazing fire will be his abode. That is, it will be the fate and final abode of one who is like this. But as for one who feared standing before his Lord, that is, he feared being presented before him and being requited on the basis of justice, and that fear had an impact on his heart, so he forbade to himself worldly desires that would cause him to drift away from obedience to Allah, and his inclinations fell in line with that which the Messenger ﷺ brought, striving against whims and physical desires that divert one from good. Verily paradise, with all that it contains of goodness, joy, and bliss, will be his abode. That is, it is the abode of anyone who is like this. يسألونك عن الساعة أيان مرساها فيما أنت من ذكراها إلى ربك منتهاها إنما أنت منذر من يخشاها كأنهم يوم يرونها لم يلبثوا إلا عشية أو ضحاها. That is, those who stubbornly deny the resurrection ask you about the hour, when will it happen, and when will it arrive? So Allah answered them by saying, how could you possibly know that? For there is no benefit for you or for them in knowing that and knowing when it will come, because there is no religious or worldly benefit for people in knowing when the hour will come. Rather, the benefit is in its being hidden from them. Knowledge of that has been withheld from all of creation, and Allah has kept the knowledge to himself. Therefore he says, its knowledge rests with your Lord alone. That is, its knowledge is with him alone, as he says elsewhere. They ask you about the hour, when will it come to pass? Say that the knowledge thereof is with my Lord alone. None but he can disclose when its time will come. It will weigh heavily on the heavens and the earth. It will not come upon you but suddenly. They ask you as if you were well informed of it. Say, the knowledge thereof is with Allah alone, and most people do not realize. You are but a warner for those who fear it. That is, the benefit of your warning is only for those who fear the coming of the hour, and who fear the standing before Allah. They are ones who do not care about anything except preparing for it and striving for it. As for the one who does not believe in it, no attention should be paid to him or to his stubbornness, because his stubbornness is based on obstinacy and disbelief. If he has reached such a state, answering his questions is pointless, and the wise person should rise above that. This is the end of the commentary on Surat An-Nazi'at. All praise and thanks are for Allah, and may the blessings and peace of Allah be upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, and his companions abundantly until the Day of Judgment.